Hello, this is Paula from Emotional Support for All. This is a short video just for some encouraging words should you find you're in a position where you might feel that you need it with the upcoming week. Are you dreading going back to work tomorrow? It might be school, it might be college, it might just be even doing your day-to-day routines that you have to do. And I know it's painful, isn't it? The dreaded fear of doing something that is taking you out of that comfort zone that you have. Many reasons, isn't there, why you might be dreading it. So let's think about, the workplace. Are you dreading going to work because there may be a workplace bully? Unfortunately, you do get them, and then you get a circle of hangers on, if you like. And it all together makes the workplace an absolutely unbearable place. Unfortunately, I think adult bullies can be worse than children bullies for many reasons because children don't really understand the seriousness of what they're actually doing. It might just be words that they've heard. They don't understand the consequences of what they're saying, do we? Whereas adults know exactly what they're doing. And I have found in through experience where there has been workplace bullies, their life is far from perfect. A few times I've heard the sentence where people will say what's happening in their life that they feel the need to bully people to make them feel better. And in a few cases, without saying too much, it has been true. There's been things happening behind the scenes, and their life was far from perfect. And if you want to be unkind back, you can go along the lines of maybe if you've concentrated more on, what is happening at home rather than you becoming an unkind person, which you perhaps aren't naturally. Why? That doesn't make it any better to treat people like that. Again, it goes back to, treating people how you want to be treated. And, if you're having a hard time of it yourself, don't then do it to somebody else because you know exactly what it is you're doing. So, if you're dreading going into that workplace, like I said, there tends to be one main bully, and you then get a circle of hangers on. Um, what I would always say and advise is keep well clear, but then that can also isolate you as well. And again, that could be the dreaded fear of, if you live on your own as well, the workplace might be somewhere where that is all you talk to all day. So it becomes a very lonely and isolated place, doesn't it? And they're not nice places to be. But look around when you're on breaks and things, who else is sat on their own? Some people generally do, don't they? They like their own space and they don't want to mingle with anyone from work. And that's absolutely fine as well. But maybe you can go over, hello, how's your shift going? A little bit of chit chat. You will get the vibe whether they want to engage in a conversation with you or not. And if they don't, then move on to the next person. I wouldn't say befriend the bully, but I would certainly be like, hello, what's happening? And maybe there's reasons for them being the bully, but there is other people that you can kind of hang out with if you want. And also, if you are the butt of people's joke and that is lowering your confidence and self-esteem, go to a manager. These workplaces have a duty of care to ensure that bullying does not happen. I have known people in the past get the sack for bullying behaviour on site. Don't think just because they have a big circle of people around them that they're invincible, because they are not. And they will be held accountable if managers know what's going on. So I hope that eases it a little bit. Don't live in fear. Speak up. Colleges and schools, I do feel for teenagers in this day and age. It's with all the media that's around, it's hard, isn't it? It's when I was at school, perhaps if someone was not very kind at school, at least when you came home, that your home's your safe place, and you kind of cut yourself off from it, where there's lots of incidences now where there's so many social media apps out there. It's hard to switch it off, isn't it? And if you don't choose to watch it, somebody else will tag you in things, and I really do feel for you. But again, what are the reasons why you're not wanting to go to college or school? Is it because of a bully? Again, speak up. You have tutors. They're there to support you. They have a duty of care to support you. Is it because the courses are not what you think they are? That could be another reason why people are dreading going into work as well. The workplace has become routine and you're not enjoying it anymore. I'm not saying walk out and leave your jobs, but there are lots of job opportunities out there. You are never ever too old to change your career path. I went to college to do a totally new different career path when I was 30. There are always going to be mature students out there. Don't think because you haven't done anything by a certain age that you can't, because trust me, you can. Yeah, so there's lots of job opportunities out there. So again, maybe you start looking for something else. What is it that you're not enjoying anymore? There's different areas in the workplace perhaps you could move to for a bit of a change. Again, if people aren't very kind there, again, you can speak up. There is people to talk to. Don't feel that you're ever on your own. Don't feel and dread waking up on a Monday morning thinking, I don't know how I'm going to get through this week because of whatever it is you're going through. It may also be nothing to do with your workplace. You may have things going off at home and you have nobody to talk to whatsoever. And then you've got to go into work that week and put a brave face on everything and pretend everything's fine. And people really don't know that you're struggling because you become such a what's the word I'm looking for? Actor, don't you? You become a classic of, yeah, everything's fine, have a lovely day, yeah, and then your gut just aches, doesn't it? Because you walk away thinking, if only you knew. And there is more. A lot of people are very private, aren't they? They don't like people knowing the business, but this is again why I would encourage you, if let's be fair, we spend half of our working life, don't we, at work? So if someone's not quite right and maybe they're a bit quieter than usual, ask them what's wrong. They may really appreciate it. They might say, no, no, I'm just tired, or I have got things happening at home, but I don't really want to talk about it today, but thank you for your concern. They then know that there is someone there to listen. Some people will say, well, I'm not asking them what's wrong. I've got enough going off in my own life without anybody else's. But, you will feel so much better for that. You will walk away thinking, I've helped that person today and I'm proud of that. And, it would mean the world to that person to know that somebody is there to listen or even point them in the right direction. There is um line leaders or team leaders or whatever, whatever you call them, they all have a duty of care to make sure that you're okay. Talk to people. It could even be financial. You're stressing over financial issues and you're working so many hours overtime, you're about to break. It might be that you're entitled to benefits and you just don't know about it. So, it's not telling people your business. They are people that are generally interested and do want to help you. So, a problem shared is a problem half, as they used to say, and I believe that. So, just bear that in mind, and I promise you, the working week, it won't be as bad as you think it is. Take every day as it comes. Come home, totally switch off from work or by college or whatever it is you're doing. Relax and start a new day as a new day. All right. You take care of yourself. Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe my video. It really helps me out. Until next time, bye bye.